Hi ladies and gents, Pond here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. As you can see, we're going to be talking about another SX hero today. It is the Defender. The Defender is an SX3 hero and she is an Archer's hero. I don't have her yet in my account. I'm hoping that I will pick her up in the coming weeks as I'm going to be focusing on SX3 recruitment. But let's have a look at her today. So the Defender, she is a defensive hero, so really suitable for front row squads. She is, of course, an archer. And let's have a look at her skills. So, of course, skill 1 is the dictatorship skill, increasing the marching capacity in the hero squad to 23,100 troops. Skill 2, it's a passive skill. So passive skills activate after basic attacks. It's called Jericho's Iron Wall. So the effective range is 1 as it's applicable to her own squad, the front squad. And you can see that this is going to be a really nice defensive measure in place for you. So after basic attacks, there's an 80% chance to decrease damage taken for self squad for 2 turns, and the status is stackable, and we'll come back to why that's going to be important in a minute. So at top level, it reduces damage taken by the squad by 20%. So that is a really nice defensive element. Obviously, if your opponents are attacking you, the more this activates, the more defense you get. So it's interesting. Of course, skill 3 is the defensive formation, giving you the extra 50% resistance, and skill 4 is the offensive formation, giving you the extra 50% might to the troops in your legion. Defender's second hero specific skill, Flames of Resurrection, skill 5. It's another passive skill, so again, it activates after basic attacks, and this is a offensive combat skill with a healing element to it. So 50% chance to deal 122% up to 310% damage to one random enemy squad. So it's not massive damage, but as a front row hero, if she's contributing towards damage, that's pretty good. And 50% chance, so it's likely to activate for, 4 or 5 times in a battle, you'd hope. And then within range after basic attack. So effective range is 3. So that's why you kind of want Defender potentially on your front row, so this could target any enemy squad. And then recover some troops for the self squad. So, and that's a 67% recovery rate. So it's not huge, but that is 2,300 troops recovered. Again, if you've got a healing skill on your front row, then that's going to help. So we already, if you look at her second skill, that is reducing the damage to her squad, and this is going to potentially recover troops. So that's both very nice elements for a defensive hero. Skill 6, Awaken. Of course, the extra 250% bonus to leadership skills, maxing your troop capacity. So this is really important for Defender. If you're looking to use Defender on your front row, you're going to want to unlock this 6th skill first. Absolutely, you're going to just have to do it. If you're looking to use her potentially in a middle row formation, then you might want to think about opening her 8th skill first, and we'll look at that in a minute as well. So in the other benefits are the extra 15% might and resistance, which is okay, and then the extra HP, 15% HP, that is really nice again for a front row hero. That's the kind of defensive element you're looking for. And again, for the 7th skill, defensive order, 40% extra resistance. So that's that usual regular combination that you want. That's when you know you've got a defensive hero, because they've got that HP buff on their 6th skill, extra resistance on the 7th skill. On to her 8th skill, Heavenly Smite. This one is a combat skill, and the effective range is 3, but it targets 2 random friendly squads within effective range. So this gives, when maxed, a 35% chance to make 2 random friendly squads to attack twice. So that's skills and also their basic attacks with 30% increased damage for 2 turns. Now, if you're pairing Defender with Spectral Reaper, this is going to potentially do a lot of damage. You're going to be buffing Spectral Reaper, doubling the amount of attacks he does. The basic attacks that his troops already do is huge. And he already does increased damage, and then you're giving even more damage to him. Now, the other thing to think about from the Defender's point of view, so her skills are really synergized to make her effective as a front row hero, because if this activates and you get, so if this activates 2 turns in a row, sorry, no, this only has to activate once, sorry, because, no, yeah, 2 turns in a row, sorry, because chance to make 2 random friendly squads attack twice. So if you think about it, her second skill is giving you an 80% chance to decrease 20% damage taken for self squad for 2 turns, and it's stackable. So if for both those turns your 8th skill activates and you're actually attacking 4 times, then you're going to get this up to minus 80%, which is an incredible buff. The other thing is because it's stackable, and then on this 5th skill, potentially, if it activates, okay, it's 50% chance, but in theory, you could actually do, in 2 turns, 1240% damage to your opponent, plus get 4 lots of recovery, which would be 9,200 troops in 2 turns. So that is that's almost 10% of your troops back. So Defender, if all of her skills work, they do really synergize nicely, and she is going to, if that's hitting your back row, the 8th skill is targeting your back row squad, and they're able to actually activate and activate combat skills, or as I say, with Spectral Reaper, he has that amazing additional damage that he's doing with the basic attacks, then Defender is going to really increase their damage. So let's get into a video and see her in action. And I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Velix in my alliance. So he has actually got Defender and Spectral Reaper maxed, and he was kind enough to share a battle report with me just a couple of hours ago. That's why I'm scrolling through our chat to get to it. Oh, I've gone past it. Here we go. So he was in a battle earlier today, and let's have a look. So his formation, he's actually running with Defender, Skybreaker and Spectral Reaper. It's not a bad combination. You don't really see it in the top archers combinations, but you're going to see in the battle that Skybreaker does actually, with this 5th skill, Soul of the Mountain, disarming the opponent's troops, that is giving you quite a bit of a head start. Plus you've got Wrath of the Wilderness, 40% chance to do damage to 2 random enemy squads, and Breath of the Forest as well also does damage. So you can see as well that the Defender has used skills a significant amount of time, because these passive skills have activated a lot in this battle. And then you've got like Spectral Reaper, also 9 skills used, so Defender will have an effect in this battle, and we'll see that in a second. The other thing I want to touch on is the opponent. So the opponent does have Windwalker with 7 skills, and then we've got a Bulwark and a Lionheart max. So this isn't exactly, obviously we've got 1 SX and 2 S1 heroes up against 2 SX3s and an S3. So there's quite a big difference in the abilities that we're seeing in this battle. So that, just bear that in mind. You probably wouldn't see such a big disparity between 2 opponents, say if this was up against a group of SX Cav heroes, for instance, because you're not. The other thing is, you've got to consider is with the Defender, if you can disarm or suppress her so that she can't basic attack, you are not going to actually activate well, it basically completely nullifies her, because skills 2 and skill 5 won't activate because you're not basic attacking. So she is the problem with Defender is she is very susceptible to being CC'd, crowd controlled. So that's what I would say is a big negative about her. So in this battle video, we're going to see the positives, let's say. So let's get started. V's down here. So here is our Defender. We've got all of our status skills activating first. Then we're going to have the passive skills activate, and anything else. And you can see that Skybreaker has disarmed the middle and back rows. And there's that initial attack on the Defender, 3,000 troop losses, just remember that, and 6,700 from that skill, as the cavalry heroes go first. And here is Jericho's Iron Wall. So that is the second skill activating, giving additional defense, that extra reduced damage, shall we say. And there we go. Did you see the front row there? It only took 2,700 damage, and then the second skill, attacking skill, 4,600 damage, compared to the middle row that was taking. You see again each time now, this damage being taken on the front row is much less compared to the middle row, and that is this second skill being in effect. That troop recovery is from Skybreaker's healing. Jericho's Wall activating again, and you see the fifth skill as well, the 2,300 in green. That is the Defender's troop recovery skill from her fifth skill activating. And those multiple attacks there. So Heavenly Smite is now going to activate as well. So here is Spectral Reaper doing some damage. And you see he basic attacked twice there, and then he's also activated another skill. So that was the Heavenly Smite impacting on Spectral Reaper. Spectral Reaper attacked the opponent twice with that increased damage as well. So literally he did, what was it, well over 40,000 kills in that one turn. And already your opponent has lost their front row. We've still got Jericho's Rule activating and buffing, so reducing the damage. And you've still got the troop healing going on as well. So again, just huge damage being caused by these archers. 16,000 from a normal basic attack. That is the kind of, this is what's lethal about the Defender Spectral Reaper combo. This time we see Heavenly Smite activate again, so we've got that 310% damage. And then you see the skills activating again because its impact. The Heavenly Smite has targeted her own squad, and then you can see again you've got all this additional healing going on as well. And this is kind of like the last stand. So you're going to see now, so there we go. Only lost 1,600 troops compared to the middle row that lost 2,900. Because again, this Jericho's Wall second skill is having such an impact. More troop recovery from Skybreaker there. And then Heavenly Smite activates yet again. So we're getting that healing, and it's targeted her row, so you're getting the fifth skill activating, doing more damage, you're getting more healing, and then we've got Spectral Reaper finishing it off. And that's it. That's the battle done in 6 rounds. Victory rather easily. So I think that actually shows what Defender does really nicely, and it shows in an ideal world how her skills work perfectly. You saw all of that reduction in damage, you saw all of that healing going on, and you saw the impact that she had in the increased damage that she was doing. She was giving to Spectral Reaper because he is doing double the attacks as well, and that just the extra damage percentage as well has even more benefit for him. So that is what is going to happen with Defender and Spectral Reaper in an ideal world, guys. What kind of combinations do you want to put Defender with? Well, she, as I say, she is going to work with kind of high-level damage heroes. So basically Spectral Reaper, where you're getting that guaranteed attack. She is basically built to work with Spectral Reaper. That's kind of where you're working towards. And also the new hero Ashen Verdict, where Ashen works that Ashen's second skill. Kind of it tallies up to 7, and then it'll activate a lot of damage, 1,200% damage across 3. Well, it does 400% damage across 3 each squad in your opponent, and but to get to that point, Ashen has to do 7 basic attacks. So if you put the Defender with Ashen and Reaper, that is going to be the strongest offensive combination, because if this 8th skill is activating, then obviously you're going to be giving Ashen more basic attacks, so that Ashen's second attack activates quicker. Plus obviously everything that Defender does for Reaper as well. So that is why Ashen, Defender, Ashen, Spectral Reaper from tomorrow, that is going to be a real killer combo for archers. Defender also strangely works in a purely kind of like defensive legion with Sakura, Ashen and Defender. Just again, I think that's probably what you would use maybe in your defense. You're not having a killer hero, that's gonna be what you'd want in your defensive queue. And then you've got kind of the strongest, well, right now what's the strongest combination, which is Immortal Guardian, Defender, Reaper, because Immortal Guardian's doing all the defense on that front row, and then Defender is kind of buffing, again giving you more defense, but also buffing Spectral Reaper. And then you've got, you can turn it around and have Defender on the front as well because of her ability. So you know, this is what's going to keep your archers alive the longest. So having, again, Defender, Immortal Guardian, Spectral Reaper. And then interestingly as well, a combination that works really well with Ashen Verdict, but isn't, because you don't have a pure killer hero, it's not the best combination, but something to think about is having actually Defender, Divine Arrow, yes, I did say Divine Arrow, and Ashen Verdict, because both Defender and Divine Arrow's 8th skills are going to increase basic attacks. So Divine Arrow's 8th skill actually creates splash status, which is where a squad's heroes will attack both the front row and then the middle and the back row. And then if you combine that with the Defender's 8th skill, which is potentially giving 2 lots of basic attacks, then you could be basically super buffing Ashen Verdict's 2nd skill so that it's activating multiple times in the battle. But that's going to be kind of where all your damage is coming from. But it's just an interesting combination to think about. Would you want to put Defender with any other lower level archers heroes? In my opinion, I don't think so. You're just not going to get the best benefit from that 8th skill. But and you know, how good, I mean, she's really good at protecting herself if she's not crowd controlled, CC'd. So that is kind of her big weakness, is that if she is crowd controlled, then she's effectively not going to be doing anything in the battle. So again, like if you're coming up against any heroes that do have that element, she's really going to struggle. So like I would suspect that Defender up against Army Breaker, Ragnar, Son of Ragnar, Avalanche, all 3 there have elements of crowd control. I think then Defender would really struggle up against that combination. And yeah, that's kind of all my thoughts about the Defender. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do pop a like down below. And if you've got any comments and thoughts on the Defender, then please do pop them there. I'm always interested to hear what other people are saying or think about heroes. And please, if you haven't already, why not click on that subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notifications whenever I'm dropping videos on the channel. And if you could please share my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, through WhatsApp line, Discord, that would be absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you soon.